Hey everybody, it's Mr. Philip again, and I am attempting to play my version of Flappy Bird. You can see I'm not very good, so let's try this again. But in this game, or today's program, what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to create a side-scrolling game. We're going to be using variables, and we're going to talk about how we can get one sprite, the pipes. When they get to the left-hand side of the screen, they reappear on the right-hand side of the screen. So let's get started. Let's make Flappy Bird. So click on create, and very first step, you guys know me by now, we are going to get rid of this cat. Okay, so first thing I want to do is we are going to make the stage, the backdrop. Okay, so it's Flappy Bird. I'm going to click on choose a backdrop and we will paint the backdrop, but we already have one made. So instead of doing that, we're going to head over to backdrops and we're going to change this one. So Flappy Bird is going to be taking place in the sky. So let's get a nice blue for the sky. We will turn off our outline, choose a rectangle, and draw that blue sky. Okay, let's make that bigger there. And then what we need to do is we need to then get some grass for the bottom. So let's get a nice shade of grass. There we go. Put that on the bottom, and again, get rid of our outline. All right, there is our backdrop all set and done. So what we're going to do next is we are going to build the pipes that the bird is going to fly through. And that pipe is going to be a sprite. I'm just going to make this smaller for now. I'm going to paint a sprite from the beginning, and I'm going to call this pipe. Okay, there is our pipe. All right, next thing we are going to do is we are going to then code this pipe. Okay, so because right now nothing is happening, so we're going to click on the code tab and we're going to start the game by clicking the green flag, and I'm going to explode this. Right now it's set to 100. I'm going to set this to 200. I'm going to show you why. Okay, because this pipe is going to be moving up and down on the y-axis, and I don't want it always to be in the middle. So if I increase its height, I'll ensure that I don't have any gaps here on the bottom or on the top. Okay, then I want to set this pipe to start on the right-hand side of the screen. So I'm going to have it go to X, and let's try 240 degrees, and we will pick a random Y coordinate so that it's moving up and down. So let's go as low as -20 and as high as, let's try 60. So now you can see it's moving up and down, and it's always starting on the right hand side of the screen. Okay, we're going to stop there, move over to our next sprite, and I thought I called this sprite pipe, and there it is. Now it is. Now we're going to just choose a sprite from the selector. Bird. I like the parrot. We're going to choose the parrot. Okay. I'm going to head back over to my pipe. I'm going to finish doing this. Okay, so I'm going to repeat whatever's happening here until I'm touching the parrot. So repeat until it senses that it has hit the parrot. There we go. And we are going to move at a speed of -2 steps, because that means it's going to be going to the left. And if, so control, if the X position, so if it gets over too far to the left, it's going to restart and go back to the right hand side of the screen. So if our X position, motion if our X position, oops, sorry, gotta take a operator here. So if our X position goes too far to the left, so X position is too far to the left, I don't know, let's try negative 200 and see what happens. Then it'll go back to its original spot. So I'm going to duplicate this. It's going to go back to its original spot on the right hand side of the screen. And then I'm going to insert some variables here. So I'm going to get rid of this my variable. And I'm going to make a variable called score. And I'm going to make another variable called speed. And we'll talk about those when we start programming our parrot. But for right now, we can use the score variable. We can change the score by 1. Okay, there we go. Now let's head over and program our parrot. So our parrot is going to have 2 sets of code. The first one is going to be when we click on the green flag. This parrot is way too big. So we are going to set its size. Let's try what 50% looks like. Not bad. Okay, that might be a little too small, but we'll check it out. And then when the game starts, we're going to head over to our variables, and we are going to set score to 0, and we are going to set speed as well to 0. And I want my parrot to always start at the middle of the screen, so coordinates 0 and 0. Oops, my apologies. Oh, and there we did it. So X coordinates of 0, Y coordinate of 0 as well. And now we're going to repeat until I'm touching that pipe. So that's going to be sensing the color. So sensing color, we'll pick the eyedropper. We'll choose the proper brown, and that's the one. I want to change my Y coordinate. So motion, change Y by my speed. Change Y by speed. And that is going to change speed then. Let's go negative 0.2 because we want that bird to fall. Okay, but if I'm pushing the space bar, so when the space key is pressed, we want to change that variable. So change that variable of the speed variable. Let's go 7, so that when I push the space bar, it's moving up, and if I let go of the space bar, it's moving down. And let's see how this goes. So let's make this bigger. And let's see how I do. Okay, not doing very well, but that could be because maybe my bird is too large. So just to make it easier, I'm going to go 30%. I'm still not very good at this. Just like the real Flappy Bird game, I'm not good. All right, I've got all the way to the left, and then it reappears on the right-hand side, and my score has changed. There you go. Flappy Bird. Next step, you can add some music if you want, some sound effects, and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you enjoyed it.